Wait.
It's okay, Pat.
She's vomiting. Oh, it's the drugs. She's having the relapse thing.
I want to know everything that you know about IGH.
Ooh.
And when you finally find a winner, you crawl back to Max and blow him for some story.
Don't, Trish. Look, what did I say? What did I say? Oh my god. Wait. She remembers him directly?
Jessica.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Ooh. What is up? Welcome back, guys, as ever, to the channel. It's your boy, BritishChap. You know how it goes, guys. Honestly, I've been gone for a while, and I will go over that at the end of the video. It's probably wise, actually, because I've been watching all of the Marvel TV shows, i.e. Daredevil, Luke Cage. I'm up to Luke Cage now, so I've watched Daredevil 1, 2, Luke Cage. I'm starting Luke Cage 1, so I'm starting to watch them all in order. And I don't think this season is actually supposed to be watched until, like, quite a bit later. So it's probably good that I'm actually slowing down a bit and cracking on in those other videos. I'm so gutted I didn't do Daredevil as a reaction. I've got a reason for that. I can go over that if you guys want, guys, but it won't be now. As for right now, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. That's right, flooding aquarium. What happened to Jess? They're all drenched. So that's what happened. They're gonna get away. Oh, that reminds me, guys, I happened to accidentally see a spoiler, which actually confirms one of my theories, which really annoys me. I'm not gonna go over it now in case you guys haven't seen, but so gutted. Straight to the booze.
I'll turn down.
Are they gonna end up a thing, you know?
You got anything to drink?
Time to chat. Also, guys, sorry if it's very bright.
That's what I do.
I can sort of see how bright that is. I hope it's not too bright.
Why are you really here, Jessica?
I was too lazy to walk to the liquor store.
You know why. You know why you're there. That is why you're there. Oh, that's kind of cute, you know. Although, knowing the way the show treats Jessica, I wouldn't be surprised if she still doesn't get a happy ending. Okay. Rip their clothes. It's not like they were going to be leaving them on for very much longer anyway. Why is she following this random guy with a gun? Look at her. Staring at him. What the actual heck? Dude. Why? Like, what? Is she just, like, off the hook right now? Is that what this is doing to her? Oh, wow. So she... It's like a superhero... Oh. It's like a hero complex, isn't it? And look at her. She's hyped about that. She loves that. Oh. Okay, guys. Good place to start and have a wee chat. Where are we at? Jess is obviously seems as lonely as ever. She's now got that guy at least, and that's developing into like a nice sort of relationship. It seems that like we're not exactly in a rush to find the person or this lady again. It seems like that's sort of on the back burner a bit at the start of this episode. I mean, it is only like 10 minutes in. I think the biggest thing and the only thing that I really do need to discuss right now is Trish, and obviously like I predicted earlier on and like actually happened, she's become addicted to those PEDs, whatever Simpson was using. And the thing is, I'm actually curious, how is she going to keep that supply up? Like, where's she going to get those? I mean, like IGH? I mean, I doubt it. Like, where's she going to get it? And what do you know? What's the first thing she does with it, guys? The first thing, or the only thing that she's wanted for like this whole time since knowing Jess, is to be able to help people and have those abilities to be able to do that, because she's always felt belittled or smaller or weaker. We've seen that through season 1 and what Kilgrave did to her and all that kind of stuff. So really, what else would she have used it for? Now, she's helping people in a way, like sort of like a vigilante, but it's for the wrong reasons, you know? Right, well, when she's on the drugs, it's for the wrong reason. I think she's so much better herself when she's not on them, because she can help people in the right ways, in the ways as Trish Walker can, not enhance Trish Walker. I don't know, and like I've said previously, guys, I really do, like, I have this theory that her and Malcolm are going to end up really close, because obviously they both had drug problems. Malcolm needed help from Jess, maybe Trish needs help from Malcolm. I don't know, I've got that weird vibe, eh? Like, they've had a few sort of... They haven't been close that much, but we've had a few moments with them where you're like, you know, I can sort of see some potential chemistry that could build there. So that's, honestly, that's my theory, that is going to end up being something. I kind of feel like Jess isn't going to get a happy ending. You know, there's just those characters that, like, sort of like Ellie off The Last of Us, like, they just don't get a happy ending, it just doesn't fit them. Or they've got this happening and then that happening, or it just seems like they're overwhelmed with bad luck. I feel like, for some reason, I feel like that's going to happen with Jess.
It's not finished.
Does she not like it or something? Oh, dude, he's so good at art. Holy guacamole.
I gotta go.
She's going to get overwhelmed. Rabbit in headlights, isn't she? Because she hasn't had this for, like, well, ever, really, has she? We're going to see that. 100% we're going to see her get overwhelmed by all of this. Can I just say, it's weird seeing that door with Elias Investigations on it being as this whole, like, the last few weeks, I've been binging Daredevil, seeing Nelson and Murdoch on the front door. Oh, okay. Also, not to mention, Hogarth made an appearance in Season 2 of Daredevil, which I was surprised about. So now we've got Foggy working for Hogarth. Do you get Foggy in this series, I wonder?
Morning.
What is that supposed to mean?
Just say good morning.
It means good morning. Oh,
Doesn't
the
take a
sass.
PI or even a PI's associate to recognize a walk of shame. Left your phone here last night. Got some serious bedhead going on, and you're covered in paint. Banging the super, huh? It's a university class ring. I recognized it.
From the university you got kicked out of.
They put me on academic probation, so technically I dropped out.
Hogarth, I saw her the other day in Daredevil. Oh, that's right. She's been investigating IGH and the experimental treatments. So finally, we're going to get some of that.
Glad to see you're enjoying my gold leaf truffles from Switzerland. You get my conditioner? My sports bra?
Dude, she's asking for heaps. Getting cozy in those silk sheets.
IGH. Everything you know.
Bribery, that's what it is.
Now.
She's done.
You answered they were developing a new technique.
Yeah.
Speed up the healing process.
I've spoken about this, like, imagine, because I've said before that, like, Kilgrave is so similar to Hogarth. They were, like, such similar characters, just with, like, one obviously with abilities, one further on down a sadistic path, and one that's, like, the way I just sort of describe it is in a very early developmental stage of Kilgrave. I don't know why, like, I've made this weird mental association between them, and she wants the abilities Kilgrave had, or she wanted those abilities. We saw that before, remember? Now, my question is the, like, use of that, because you know she had the fetus and everything, has she still kept that, or is that now gone? I know they tried to do something with it, it didn't work, but have they kept it? Because imagine she takes that to IGH and somehow replicates his powers. I know that maybe sound a bit, like, excessive and speculative, but I have this weird feeling she's going to end up, like, I don't know, I've got a weird feeling it's going to go bad, you know? Like, she's going to get, like, treatment, and then it's going to be bad for her. Something bad's going to happen.
I was just a nurse. Nobody told me anything. Damn. So you don't even know if it worked.
Look at all those
Not that I
scars.
saw. All they did was create that monster. So, how do I look? Like a waste of my time.
That's Hogarth. Oh my goodness. To be fair, she did just bribe her and give her, like, no information whatsoever.
I saw you yesterday on my cameras. I don't want any trouble.
Then you might want to put that thing away. Like she said.
Oh, Trish.
Here. The man and woman are arguing.
Oh.
She's very upset.
Oh, shoot.
Drug her to get her into the car?
He seemed like the one that was, like, innocent. Although he was experimenting on Jess, remember? Imagine that other lady's just a victim. I did say, like, I had this weird feeling like maybe there was something mentally wrong with her because of, like, the whole piano thing and, like, keeping everything tidy and uniform and buying things to replace things. I did have a weird feeling there was some sort of mental issue there. So maybe he's just, like, her carer. Maybe she, like, loses control and he has to do that. Maybe he doesn't have a choice.
Have a nice life, Malcolm.
Dude!
Niche, please. I didn't have control of myself.
Yeah,
Oh
some
my
crazy
God.
man made you do drugs? Like you never partied before?
Okay, I've had this debate with people in season 1. Like, there was this big debate that went on in my comments as to whether Malcolm was an addict before Kilgrave or if Kilgrave made him one. And I was sort of talking about the fact that I honestly felt like Kilgrave preyed on him, and a lot of people thought that, nah, he he just, you know, did it because he lived next to Jess. Now, let me just say this thing. I remember back then my theory was that Malcolm was already at some point a victim or an addict, sorry, or at least somewhat of an addict or close to being one, or he'd had scares before or something. He'd had those risk factors and he had experience around it. And my theory was that Kilgrave knew that, Kilgrave did his research, Kilgrave understood that, Kilgrave targeted that for that reason because he knew it would get him without the actual mind control. Now, a lot of people in the comments were saying, no, Kilgrave just made him an addict. That was it. Like, it was simple. Now, I honestly thought that, like, back then, my thought was that it would make Kilgrave so much scarier of a villain if he could prey on people's weaknesses the way that my theory had worked. Kilgrave noticing that he had a weakness in him, a predisposition, and targeting that to making him an addict. So then he can blame it on the other guy. You know, it was almost like a blame game, and you could say, just go, oh, he was already this, he was already down to this, or he was already going down a rabbit hole, or I just, you know, aided him. I didn't make him do it, I just gave him the means. That was my theory, that, like, that was trying to happen. He's just said, just here, she just sort of said, I wasn't under control, I didn't know what I was doing. And she just turned around and said, what, like you weren't already a party freak before that? That's exactly my point that I was trying to make. He was already predisposed, or he already had more risk factors to become addicted. He was already a high-risk person because he'd been a partier, or he'd been falling off the rails, or he'd been drinking lots of alcohol or something. Maybe there's lots of different really risky behaviours. And that was my theory, and that's what she's just said, and he's just admitted to it. He said, yeah, I was already going off the rails, but Kilgrave just aided that step. He pushed him. He gave him a little push off the cliff he was already walking towards. So that was my theory ages ago. I think that's such a cool concept, to have Kilgrave be that meticulous rather than just opportunistic. Rather than being opportunistic, he's actually more meticulous and thought out and methodical in who he picks in his victims. So that was my theory, and I'm so glad that we finally understood some of this, or we're about to, because it just explains Malcolm and his whole character and a bit of his backstory without actually having to show it to us. But yeah, for me, Kilgrave's, like, darkest moments came from when he was manipulating people without manipulating them. So, like, he was controlling people through other people. That, for me, was the most, like, dark and dangerous and scary he'd ever been. Not even when he was, like, telling him to do things.
I never thought I was good enough for you. That's the truth.
Just hope she can just open her eyes and accept the apology.
Yeah?
Yes! Finally! Yes! Wait, did he just do what I think he just did? Dude! He scabbed her ID!
She is filthy.
Oh my goodness.
She's a slob. She's manipulative.
You're calling someone manipulative?
She'll steal something and then leave. What did she do to Malcolm? Bro, straight for the jewelry. Of course she is. And what'd she say? She's gonna try to get out of town, right? That was her plan?
Oh, you've just got some sauce on the jacket.
Sorry, but you...
See what I mean about chemistry. It's building!
You holding up okay?
The lovebirds are tweeting. Tell me now.
I'm a mess.
I'm still learning, but...
I'm sure Jessica would tell you she appreciates you if she wasn't.
Look at the scowl.
Punch out, Malcolm. I don't pay overtime.
I'd rather stay and...
Go.
You might want to try it sometime before he quits on you.
You might want to stop leading him on before you break his bleeding heart.
What are you talking about?
He has a thing for you.
Why is a hosiery company paying for Dr. Carl's expenses?
That
Let's
is
find
so
out.
weird. Are we gonna get the voice? Are we gonna get the voice? Please, 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 please.
Yeah, this is the car service company. I'm trying to schedule a drop-off
Damn
for my
it.
client, but the dude forgot his tea time.
Oh, I missed the...
Great.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna
Client's
do
name
it.
is Justice Ambrose.
I'll distract them.
With what?
It's Patsy.
I love this duo so much.
Do you think this is funny? You're about to be so fired.
So let me guess, security,
I'm just
right?
here to have a conversation.
I just want to like make a quick like comparison to the other Marvel shows I've been watching. So far what I've noticed, right? Jessica Jones is just funny, sassy, a bit, you know, it's got this darkness in it, it's action, but it's got a very big like comedic aspect to it. Daredevil for me is like very dark and quite a bit more gory, so it's like it's quite a bit more, which I actually really like. That I'm really loving Daredevil. Luke Cage has got a weird vibe to it, you know. Like I don't know what to think of it. I've only watched 2 episodes or 1 and a bit of episodes of Luke Cage, and I'm really like unsure as to how to feel about it at this point. Like I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely a step lower. So I think What I've done is I've watched the 2 best ones first. Well, not all of them, but you know what I'm trying to say.
This is my son, Eric.
Oh,
He was born with severe craniofacial dysostosis, a genetic disorder.
And he
wasn't
saved his
expected to
life,
live
didn't
past
he?
age
Saved
5.
his life.
This is my son now.
Holy shoot! You see, this is what's confusing me. Like, I'm so conflicted with IGH and this whole company thing because, like I said, they're saving people. Yes, they are. They definitely are. That's what I was saying. Is there like a good side to IGH and a bad side? A side that's helping people, and then there's maybe it's changed. Maybe there's some now because we do obviously know that people are dying in connection to IGH. So what if it's just been like overrun by bad people? She's having bad withdrawals.
God,
For goodness.
I don't feel well.
Well, vomit on them.
Don't touch me.
Dude.
I'll definitely look into it.
Like I said, what if it's some sort of mental issue? Or what if that's what he's trying to heal? What if it's got nothing? Yeah, what if... I don't know. I'm just speculating so much. It's so many what ifs.
You're alright.
She had some sort of episode, right? She doesn't look annoyed.
Call.
She doesn't look annoyed to see him.
Jessica's coming.
Wait.
I think it's time.
Oh. Just for reference's sake, guys, like, I'm not going to tell you what I know right now, but what I know is a big spoiler. Like, one of the things like that I first remember like seeing, like, I was scrolling through YouTube. This is one of the reasons why I'm thinking of getting off of social media just generally, but I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw a thumbnail like that was, the thumbnail looked fine, but I saw it was Jessica Jones, and like my eyes immediately went to the title of the video. And people don't know how to censor their YouTube videos, which really frustrates me. Like, whenever I do mine, I try very, very hard to, like, not have spoiler titles. And obviously, a lot of people don't care. So, and I scrolled down and I saw it and I was like, you are kidding me. But it did confirm a theory that I had of mine a couple of episodes back. But there's another one that I saw, which was it another thing on YouTube? I think it was a YouTube again. So it literally is YouTube. And it was like, what happens to said spoiler. So I know 2 massive things, which is really frustrating. It's obviously still going to be a good reaction, but like, I obviously don't know so many details, but there's just one detail that I know.
Alright,
Nah, she's going to end up...
on you later.
Don't. I'll be asleep. Just stay on Carl's trail.
Nah, she's going to end up doing the drugs again. You watch. The minute she leaves, door shuts. Ready? I should write this show. I really should. Oh my god. Obviously, I've never known anyone that's had, like, withdrawals and, like, addiction issues. I want to know if it's actually this bad. You know, like, how bad that is. Like, to the point where you're, like, destroying things, or, like, Malcolm was selling things, and that must be a horrible, horrible thing to go through.
I wasn't sure what you were after, so I didn't tell you everything earlier.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
About IGH?
And now
There's another
Hogarth is all
patient
ears.
there. A boy. He could heal people.
Oh, shoot!
What does that mean? With his hands.
Oh, it fell out of your pocket.
Uh-oh.
I realized something today.
Malcolm, would you just hold that thought?
Off she goes to take a big puff of that, and then... God, surely Malcolm notices. Surely he sees between the lines in this situation. And all over again. Look at her. Oh my god. She, like, loses control over herself when she's like that.
I'm gonna take off.
Malcolm, wait.
I knew it. Something was going to happen that whole time. Oh, wow. But the thing is, though, is the drugs.
Hey, what are you doing?
He'll call you back.
Give me my goddamn phone. Yo! Get off me!
What are you going to
Put your
do?
phone back in one piece, then you'll shut up and smile.
I'll tell you whatever you want.
Help me find Carl and you'll never see me again. Either of you.
Holy guacamole. She's letting herself in. Why do you think something really weird's going to happen? See? What's with that? It's like repetition for her. It is repetition, isn't it? It's got to be a mental disorder. It has to be. It has to be. What's so important about that perfume? Do they like make her wait, what is going on? Wait, it would... Oh...
It's me.
Oh... Mother, right? But what the... What's with all the hiding and the... Dude! Doesn't make any sense. What's with all this other stuff that's been going on? Okay guys, that is the end of the episode, and actually... I know exactly where to start now, and it is right about that last thing, and it is also to do with what I already found out because of bloody spoilers. Now, I knew that her mother was still alive because of a spoiler. I knew she was still alive. Luckily, I found it out before this episode, so all the rest of the season, I had no idea. And if you remember correctly, I'd already theorized that someone in her family had not died. I'd already theorized that. But then obviously on the YouTube, I'm just so annoyed that I hadn't watched this episode sooner, because then I wouldn't have been spoiled by YouTube. Now, there is one other thing, and that is, unfortunately, the fate of this character. I know what happens to her. I'm not going to say in case you haven't seen her or whatever, but her fate, as in, not the details of it, so don't go and say the details in the comments, but the very, very broad, non-detailed or descriptive thing that happens to her. So I know the one-word thing that happens to her. I know. I'm not going to say it, but I know. Which is annoying, because that kind of is probably going to ruin the whole emotional arc that there is. But it doesn't obviously reveal anything else about the series. So I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to be excited. But I thought I'd let you guys know, just in case. Like, that's probably why that end reaction wasn't as, like, holy shoot. Because I knew that the mother was going to be a part of it. I didn't know it would be her. It is what it is. I guess she was young when it happened, so... I don't know. I was a bit shocked that it was her, but at the same time I wasn't shocked that that character was revealed. While we're on that topic, we will talk about that final sort of scene that we do find out that is her mum. That the only thing that's confusing me is what was with her secrecy and all that sort of stuff. What's the point in all of that? And think of it, she's killed people. So like I think I said, when she killed that guy when she broke into Jess's place, I said that what if she's protecting Jess? That was my first thought, like, is she protecting Jess? And I didn't piece it together at that point that it could have been her relative, but I said, what if she is protecting her? And that theory is bolstered because of what's just happened. So this whole time when I'm thinking that she's probably evil or whatever, yes, she's killing people, which is not ideal. Do I think her intentions are as meticulous or drastic as... I don't know. I don't think so. Now the other thing is like I said, with this whole whatever's going on with all the drugs and being tied up and all this stuff, something must not be right with her mentally. And I'll stick by that. Maybe there was a side effect of the drug, or maybe this didn't work on her. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe Jess was perfect. Maybe it worked perfectly. Maybe it did not for her. Maybe it was like one of those cases where it goes a bit wrong. There's definitely a lot to explore in that area, and what is actually wrong with her mentally and all that sort of stuff. Obviously she's got very similar powers to Jess, which is crazy. And the other thing as well is, was she the person that killed Simpson? Because we still don't know that. And maybe there's another super somewhere, but part of me feels like, I don't know, would have been her. We've seen her kill in the past, but it seems now that they may have had purpose. But yeah, like I said, the secrecy is a bit like of an issue for me, because I'm a bit like, why did she have to be so secretive? It doesn't really make any sense. So I will be sort of keeping an eye out for little details about that, as to like as to try and explain a lot of those things, because I'm still very, very confused about this whole scenario, and just because we know it's her mother doesn't actually answer anything. Now obviously the next step is to figure more about her, and maybe they'll talk a lot in the next episode. Maybe we'll get a lot of sort of exploration into how she's alive, etc. And maybe there's more people alive, I don't know. But for what my point is like, we just need to further explore that. The only other thing that I want to talk about before I end this sort of reaction is Trish, and what Trish is spiraling into. Obviously we've seen her with the drugs, and she's been using that inhaler that Simpson left, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and she's falling down a deep dark hole. And obviously she's just got with Malcolm. Now like I said, I've always believed that Malcolm's going to be the one that saves her and helps her, but is this bad that they've gotten together at this time, you know? Because is it really her thinking straight? She took the thing and then just boom, straight into it. Like, we know she's hot-headed, we know she acts impulsive when she's on these drugs. So what does that mean for their relationship? How that's going to end up and where that's going to go? And how's Malcolm actually going to help her, you know? Is he just going to chain her to the toilet like Jessica did? Or what? Like, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of moral dilemmas and development for Trish as well as Malcolm in this situation. But yeah, guys, that's all I have to say about the reaction. I thought I'd end this episode just speaking generally about where I've been gone, where I've been and what I've been doing. Obviously, setup's changed again, and I feel like I say that so many times. It's just, I think this one should stick now. It's just there's so much going on at the moment. Study COVID, currently New Zealand's in lockdown again. I've been in lockdown for like 2 months now. I've just sort of lost a lot of motivation, and I'm only just starting to get back into that sort of gist of doing things like this again. And I've been watching other Marvel shows. I've been watching other shows in general. I've binged You Season 3 all in 2 days. I've been watching Daredevil. I started watching Luke Cage last night. A lot's going on, and I mean a lot. I've been doing so many different things, guys, but I think I'm finally back. I say that so often. If I'm not, I do apologize. Maybe I should just stop promising my schedule and start just... Yeah, if you want to know when I'm going to be gone and when I'm going to be back, follow my Instagram. It's all on there and everything goes on there. BritishChap with 2 P's, link is in the description below. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of this episode. Were you shocked about that final revelation at the end of the episode, and what do you think is going to happen with Trish? Obviously, with no spoilers. Hopefully, you weren't spoiled when you were watching this, but just let me know in the comments, guys, what you thought of this episode and this reaction. But yeah, guys, that's all from me. As ever, it's been your boy, BritishChap. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.